My name is Kathleen Axon. I am the director of the MS program in nutrition. I'm also the chairperson of the Department of Health and Nutrition Sciences at Brooklyn College. To give you a little background, the MS program has been around since about 1985 or 6. So we've had it for a very long time, and it's gone through a number of changes over the years, but it's pretty much always been associated with our dietetic internship. And so I'll give you some information on the connection between the two when we're discussing it. Here is my email address. If you have questions after this presentation, or if you want a copy of our fact sheet, just send me an email and I'll get back to you. Also note that I have what are called open office hours. Now, all that means is that I am actually doing real-time answers to your email questions on Tuesday evenings, but I'll get back to you anyway. If you just put the words open house in the subject line, I'll know where you're coming from, and I will give you top priority in getting responses. So I like to start with having people think about why they're looking into a graduate program. Some people already have a background in nutrition and they want to learn more about the field. If you have an undergraduate degree, you know a certain number of things, but you're not really you don't really have advanced information in nutrition. And if you want to be a nutrition professional, you want to know as much as you can. Students who are working in the field say that it's tremendously helpful to have information from a graduate degree. It's not just the information, but skills that you get with it. And it builds confidence. It helps you to work with the other people on the team and kind of gives you maybe more standing or more confidence. Many people are interested in being in the dietetic internship, and we have one associated with our program. Some people are changing fields and need to take additional courses in order to qualify for becoming a registered dietitian nutritionist, or becoming a certified dietitian nutritionist, whatever it is, they need the courses, and it makes a lot of sense to take the courses on the graduate level versus going back and getting another undergraduate degree, because it's going to help you much more to have a master's versus 2 bachelor's degrees. It's also true that by 2024, which seemed a long time in the future, but now is only 4 years away, in order to take the registration exam, you must have a graduate degree. So if you're just thinking about this, and let's say you start next year, that gives you 3 years, you don't want to be the very last group of people who doesn't have a master's degree competing with everyone else who does have a master's degree in the field. There are people who are already registered dietitians who want to upgrade their income and are coming back for a master's degree too. So you may fit into multiple categories. I'll ask you in a few minutes how many of you are interested in becoming registered dietitians. It's a little hard now, I can't see people, so I'll wait till the end. So in order to get into the program, we're one of the few graduate programs that does not require the GRE, because it's been our experience that if students have good grades in the prerequisite courses, that they can do well in the program. The GRE costs a lot of money, takes a lot of time, and we don't think that it's necessary for us to judge our applicants that they have GRE scores. You should have a grade point average of at least 3.0. Some of you have changed from dramatically different fields. We're really concerned with what your GPA is in the courses that are relevant to this field. It's competitive. Not everybody is admitted who applies, but we don't have a strict cutoff in number of students. As some programs do, we take people really on their case-by-case basis. Okay, somebody is trying to be admitted who only has a number identification. Abdulaziz, can you deal with the
Yes,
admit? Okay,
I'm
thank you.
listening. Yep.
So the requirements are a background in biology, the general biology sequence, which is really important. A lot of people come from programs in nutrition where they haven't taken general biology. And in order to understand nutrition, especially as current knowledge is so based on cell biology and molecular biology and understanding the basic science, but also techniques involved, you're really at a disadvantage if you don't at least have the bio major's first two courses. A general chemistry with a lab, an organic chemistry with a lab. At Brooklyn College and at many schools, there's a version for the health sciences, which is a 1-semester course. That's fine. Definitely a human physiology course with a lab. If you've taken anatomy and physiology, that's fine. That's typically a 2-semester course. Majors course in human nutrition, not the one that's given to the general college population, but something that has a bio prerequisite. A course in really metabolism, so it would be called biochemistry. We call it nutritional chemistry, but it goes through metabolic pathways. Biostatistics, so this would be an applied statistics course, maybe something you take in a psychology department, but not in a math department. And then the 2-course sequence in clinical nutrition. Now, if you're taking it somewhere other than Brooklyn College, if you give us a course description, we'll see whether it matches what the requirements are, because of course not everything's called the same thing in all programs. Once you're admitted to the program, you need to complete 36 credits for the degree. Since most courses are 3 credits, that means 12 courses. 18 credits or 6 courses are spelled out or required, and then the other 6 are electives. If you're also doing the dietetic internship, since there is a practice component, which is 12 credits, that would be extra. Those don't count as master's degree courses. There are the 6 required courses are nutritional biochemistry, micronutrients, which is a vitamins and minerals course, a pathophysiology course, community nutrition, nutrition and disease, and a research course. So the other 6 courses are electives, and some of these are spoken for depending on your trajectory. If you're going to be in our dietetic internship, then 2 of the courses in the internship count towards electives. You would only need 4 additional ones. For the exit requirement, one of your choices is to do a master's thesis. If you do that, then you take these 2 courses as electives and 4 others. Some students do the dietetic internship and they do the thesis, so that means that there are 4 courses that are already specified and you would only have the choice of 2 additional ones. This person's still in the waiting room. And you have many
For some reason, it's not a lot.
Well, it's a number person. It looks like a phone number.
Okay.
You have many electives to choose from. I have one of them that's underlined because students who are applying to our dietetic internship must take this elective. So there's one that's, specified for them. The other ones have a tremendous range. I want to point out a couple of things. We have a new course in nutritional epidemiology. We have a new course in food policy and a new course in nutrition counseling. We're always upgrading the curriculum. And these asterisks refer to courses that can be used to satisfy the DPD requirements, and I will come back to that. But if you want to get a copy of this presentation, I will send it to you, and then you would want to know what the asterisks are about. So in addition to 36 credits, there's also what's known as an exit requirement. And this is common, I think, to all of the programs at CUNY. You have to do something additional besides just taking courses. You have a choice of exit requirement in the various programs. The two choices we offer are a comprehensive examination, which you take once you've completed the prerequisite, once you completed the 6 required courses, or you can do a master's thesis. And so when I was talking before about people having to use these 2 electives to do a master's thesis, that's what the case would be if you selected that as your exit requirement. You don't need to decide before you come in. People tend to decide during their first year. It makes a lot of sense because you want to get started on the master's thesis as soon as possible. So the comprehensive exam are on 5 out of the 6 required courses. One course, pathophysiology, is really a prerequisite course to 7241, the nutrition and disease course, so we don't include that. You have to have grades of at least B in the required courses before you qualify to take the comprehensive exam. And the reason is we want you to pass the comprehensive exam. It's given every fall and spring semester. You apply online, there's no fee. If you get an overall grade of 70%, kind of mixing all of these together, you pass. If you get a grade below 70%, then we look at each of the parts of it, and any individual part that you got less than 70% in, you have to retake and pass on the next time. So you don't retake the whole exam, only the parts that you got less than 70% in. You only have 2 chances. You can petition for a 3rd time, but it's really out of our hands whether that is approved. The approval comes from outside the department. The master's thesis, you start out by taking the required course, Principles of Nutrition Research, and you start honing in on what your interest is. And then you look for a faculty advisor who is working in an area that you're interested in working in. And between you and the faculty mentor, you come up with a project. An idea for a project, which typically is very much related to the kind of work that your faculty mentor is doing. And there are good reasons for that. One is that that's the area of expertise that your advisor has, and your advisor will be able to help you. 2, particularly if it's funded research, which our faculty are all engaged in, they have funding for the materials that you're going to need. They don't have money to buy other things for you. You would have to buy instruments yourself, for example. They have the setup that you need. You use this course to develop your thesis proposal. You make an agreement with your mentor about what it is that you need to do so that you're not doing this thesis for the rest of your life. It's something that has a timeline so that you can finish it in a reasonable amount of time. You're working with other students. This semester, it's been bad because of the epidemic, but typically the students have a lot of fun working together. They present at national meetings, they present at local meetings, they present at the college, there's a competition. They present at the time of graduation, they may have publications. It's a really enriching experience. A lot of students have said it was their favorite thing in the program. And then while you're registered for the thesis, you write it and submit it. And once it's accepted, then that exit requirement is fulfilled. Some general college rules. You have to keep your grade point average at least 3.0. Now, you know that for the required courses, you have to have a B or a 3.0 at least. But if you take elective courses that have lower grades, you may have an overall GPA that is less than 3.0. That puts you on probation. When you're on probation, you have a certain amount of time to get your GPA back to at least 3.0. Otherwise, the college can dismiss you. So When you see that you're having trouble, you have to come to your advisor. The general advisor is me when it comes to academics, and then we make a plan for how you can do better. And I'll tell you right now, the reason that most people have trouble with their GPA is in the first semester, they take too many courses, take more than they can handle. GPA goes down, and then they're fighting to get their GPA up again. So be realistic in your first semester. I advise people to take only 2 graduate courses in the first semester. Sometimes people are also taking some undergraduate courses, but never more than 2 graduate. The college has an F replacement policy, which you may want to take use of. In the F replacement policy, if you get a grade equivalent to an F, it could be a real F, or it could be that you never resolved an incomplete, or that you just dropped out towards the end of the semester and that was it, you never finished the course. If you retake the same course, the new grade can replace the old F grade. And you can do that for up to 6 credits, or what would be 2 courses. Another rule is that if during a fall or spring semester you don't register for a course, you have to do something else to maintain your full-time status, your matriculation. It doesn't matter if you don't take a course in the summer. The way that you can do this is either by applying for a leave of absence, and really almost any reason suffices for you to get a leave of absence, but your GPA has to be at least 3.0 when you take the leave in order for you to be readmitted without going through starting from the beginning to be admitted to the program. Or if you don't want to take a leave of absence, especially if your GPA is too low, then you have to pay a fee for that semester for maintenance of matriculation. If you're not matriculated, meaning that you're, if you don't maintain matriculation, meaning that you're not taking any courses in a particular semester, or you haven't done, maintenance of matriculation, then you cannot submit your thesis during that semester. You cannot take the comprehensive exam that semester. You cannot graduate during that semester. So if you are thinking of dropping out for a semester, if you need to do that, you should speak with me to make sure that you keep yourself in the program. You have 7 years from the time that you start taking graduate courses to complete the degree. So, dietetic internship. Many of you are probably interested in becoming registered dietitian nutritionists, and Brooklyn College does have a dietetic internship, which is part of the process for becoming a registered dietitian nutritionist. So it really goes as 3 steps. In order to qualify for a dietetic internship, you have to take a group of courses. And this group of courses is known as the Didactic Program in Dietetics, or DPD. They're not specific courses that every single college has, but they're content area courses that each program has approved by the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, and it fulfills the areas that are required to get into the internship. So Brooklyn College has a DPD program on the undergraduate level, but you could take the courses you need as a combination of undergraduate and graduate courses. So let's say that you majored in another area, but as an undergraduate, you took statistics and you took biology and you took chemistry, and you took a couple of nutrition courses maybe as electives. But there are a bunch of other courses that are part of the DPD that you didn't take. Well, some of those courses you can get in the graduate program. Some of those courses are not in the graduate program, and you would just take as undergraduate courses. Once you have this whole group of courses, and you would have been seeing Ms. Jakubowski as an advisor. She's our DPD director to make sure you get all the courses. Once you have them all, she signs a statement called a verification statement. You have to be able to show that when you apply for a dietetic internship. So you have the courses, you have the internship, and then when you finish the internship, you take the registration exam. So if you are applying to our internship, you also must have the verification statement saying that you've met the DPD requirements. You could have been in our master's program. You don't need the DPD requirements, before you get into our master's program. You only need that set of prerequisites. But once you finish them all, you get the verification statement. Students who are in our internship must first be accepted into our MS program. Or they must have come from another institution and already have an MS in nutrition from somewhere else. We don't make them repeat that program. They also must take these particular 4 courses: pathophysiology, nutritional assessment, nutrition and disease, and principles of nutrition research. If they don't have this from the program they were in before, then they have to take the ones that they're missing. So DPD requirements: be in the program and have completed these courses before the internship. Applications to our dietetic internship and most internships in the United States are through the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. And here's the website, www.eatright.org. If you haven't already gone on there to see what the requirements are for the internship, I suggest that you do that just to acquaint yourself. So I mentioned that you can fulfill DPD requirements within a particular program. If you were an undergraduate at Brooklyn College and you majored in health and nutrition sciences and the food and nutrition concentration, then you met the requirements. Or you can have your bachelor's degree evaluated by Ms. Jakubowski and see what's missing. How do you take those missing courses? Well, you can take some more undergraduate courses. You could do a second baccalaureate degree, and this involves more than at least 30 credits in a particular area. Or you can take courses as non-degree, but non-degree costs more per credit, although it has more flexibility. What we're recommending, and because you're here, this would be probably what you would do, is to take a combination of undergraduate courses and particular graduate courses in order to meet the requirements. So I want to go back to these admission requirements. All of these courses are part of the DPD requirements, and they count towards the DPD. We're having you take them in advance because this is an upper level graduate program. We expect people to be able to hit the ground running and have a strong background in nutrition and in basic science coming into the courses in the program. But these are courses that you also have to check off in order to meet the DPD requirements. So coming in, you already have that. Then there are some courses that are not offered on the graduate level that you would have to take as an undergraduate student. If you didn't have the lab for physiology, then you'd have to take that. You need food science. So food science is a combination of a lecture and lab. Then you need courses in management, institutional food service management. I'll jump down here. Organization, administration of health services. So these are 2 management type courses. Then there's a 1 credit professional development course. It's really a skills course. It's given online. Well, now everything's given online this semester, but even other times it's given online. It's really about making the portfolio that you need in order to apply for the internship. So this is very helpful, hands-on. And you need a course in microbiology. And this is one that's special for health science students given in the biology department here. Then the remainder of the courses, you have a choice. You can either take the graduate course or the undergraduate course that fulfills that content area. The graduate and the undergraduate courses are not the same course. They're different courses, but they address the topics that are required for the content area. So life cycle nutrition is an undergraduate course, or you could take two electives, one in pediatric and one in geriatric nutrition. Some of these graduate courses are already required in the program, so there wouldn't be much reason for you to choose the undergraduate course. Community nutrition is a required graduate course. 4211 and 4212, now there's a new course numbering. I won't get into that right now. The two courses that are required in the graduate program, nutritional biochemistry and micronutrients, meet that same requirement. The required course principles of nutrition research meets this requirement. Cultural aspects of food meets the requirement that this undergraduate course does. And then we have two courses, one undergraduate, one graduate, on integrative and functional nutrition. So you have a choice between those. In this particular case, it's an elective, and I would just say, take the one that's more convenient for you to take, what fits your schedule. So, dietetic internship. I want to just go back to the issue, meeting the DPD requirements, being in the program, taking the 4 graduate courses. The applications are through eRight.org, and the DI director is Dr. Roseanne Schnoll. This year she's on sabbatical, so the person who is the DI director is Dr. Ragda Allray. So the two people that I'm giving you as contacts, one is Susan Jakubowski, the DPD director. She's the first person you would speak to, because you need to know that you need to know what the requirements are for the DPD and whether you've met them and what you need to do if you haven't met them yet. And then the other, for particulars about the dietetic internship, you can also contact Dr. Allray this semester. So many people are doing the dietetic internship while they're in the MS program. You could continue to take other courses, but most people don't, because the dietetic internship takes up so much time. But remember that the dietetic internship is part of the MS program, so you are still matriculated. You don't have to do anything if you're doing the DI here. If you are doing an internship someplace else, not here, all you have to do is take a leave of absence. Very easy. It's a bona fide reason for taking a leave of absence. If you take our dietetic internship, remember that 2 of those courses count as electives. So if you're applying to the MS program in nutrition at Brooklyn College, note that there are deadlines November 1st and March 1st, and these are important for people who are international students. You have to meet those deadlines. If you did all of your education, your bachelor's level education in the United States, then you have longer, you can go past these deadlines. For example, in the fall, we're looking at applications until the end of the fall semester. So you have most of December. In the spring, we're looking at applications until the end of the spring semester. So you have until the end of May. If you have a problem, just contact me. If you have part of your application in and one of your letters of recommendation isn't coming through, we'll figure out how to deal with that. If you're accepted for the fall semester, it means you're also accepted for the summer, so that you can take summer courses. Your letters, let me just go back to this. We have rolling admissions, meaning that as the applications come in, we review them. Some programs wait until a certain deadline and then they stop accepting them, and then it's more competitive. They're deciding that they need only a certain number of students, and so some students won't get accepted, even though they may have a good application, but it's competitive and they're, not as, they're not deemed as worthy as someone else's. But for us, it's on an application by application basis. Part of your application is 2 letters of recommendation. At least one of them must be from a professor that is academic, and the other one can be from a place of work, whether it's volunteer or paid. It cannot be a personal friend or a neighbor or, you know, a relative. There is a 1-page essay, 1 page. I only read the first page, right? 1-page essay, and it's not about your personal history. It's about your career interests and your goals. It's not asking you what the events were that brought you into the field. We're looking forward. We want to know what it is that you want to do. You got a personal identification number. Remember it. I've been told that it gives you grief if you lose it, that you have to start some things over. And this is my email address. So I am going to, I can put this up again if it's useful. Maybe I'll leave it here for a moment, but I would like your questions. Can we unmute everybody? Raquel's iPhone raised its hand.
Hi.
Okay, Raquel?
Yeah, do you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Hi, thank you for the presentation. I just had a few questions about course like relatedness. How would that work? Because I'm pretty sure I took most of the courses, but there's a few that I have questions about. So is that on a personal basis? Do I email you about that?
Yeah, you could. The easiest thing is if you copy the bulletin description or catalog description of the course and you send that to me, because the titles don't give me enough information sometimes.
Okay.
And
then
go ahead.
I could just send that to you over email.
Yeah, that would be a start. I like to have the information first, and then if we need to have a phone call, we have it after that. Otherwise, I'm asking for things, and you know, if you haven't kind of gathered that information, we don't have a really fruitful discussion. So if you send it to me in advance, we can solve problems.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We have a question for C. Corney.
Hi, good evening. Thank you so much for the very descriptive overview of the program. So this one is pretty specific. A person like myself that has graduated from Brooklyn College a substantial amount of time ago, how would I go about getting an academic recommendation? What do you suggest?
So what was your major?
I minored in health and nutrition sciences, but my major was television and radio broadcasting.
So probably faculty, when did you receive your degree?
99.
Oh, there are plenty of people who are still here. So you probably could find somebody in health and nutrition who is your professor.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Any other questions, concerns, anything regarding the program, admissions?
Joanna.
Hi, thank you for your presentation.
I don't have a good connection. Can you hear her?
No, it's very mumbling.
Ask her if she wants to, if you want to write in the chat room, I can answer from that.
Can you hear me better now? Hello?
There's another hand raised. So you can email me your question. Joanna, you can email me your question.
Go ahead, C. Corney.
Yeah, so my other question is, just so that I get the timing right, is there any possibility to start in the spring, or is that no, is that not an option?
I'm still reviewing. If you, it's now October, sure. You have the whole month of November.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I dropped in a Google form in the chat. If you could kindly fill that out, that would allow us to get your information, continue to keep in touch with you in the future as well. I would appreciate that.
If you would like me to send you a fact sheet or even a copy of this presentation, send me an email and I will send you that.
Perfect.
Leo.
Okay, I can't wait to find out who 917 is.
tried to text them for their name. They didn't want to tell me. Also iPhone. Can you also let us know who you are as well?
Raquel. Oh no, there's another iPhone. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, at
Hello?
least
I'm sorry. It's probably me because I can't find where to change my name, but should I just type my name?
Yeah, type it in.
Okay.
Same thing with 917.
and send me an email. You know, today in one of my courses, someone tried to get in whose name was everyone. That's what the person had on the phone. And so when I tried to get rid of that, it said, "Do you want everyone removed from the session?" Like, I was afraid I was going to lose the whole class. Okay. Well, if you don't have any, are there other things for people to go to now? Besides this, isn't there other information at the open house that's available?
Yeah,
Abdul?
a lot of open houses are still happening. So if you want to check out other open houses, feel free to use the links on the open house page. Best way to look at that. And obviously, I'm going to also put my information as well, my email address. If anyone has any question, want to set up a vet appointment with me, more than happy to chat and see if I could provide any guidance.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. I'm glad that you came, and I hope to hear from you and see you eventually when we're back on campus.